welcome back to GTU. If your joints are feeling the pain as you age, there are options for you.
Joining us now from Common Spirit in the sponsored interview is Gregory Anderson, a doctor and an orthopedic surgeon. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, someone who has had ACL replacement, I know what it's like, but when you're talking about joint replacement and your bones, there are options out there.
Absolutely. So when somebody does have bone-on-bone arthritis, if I take this knee model and open it up, I'm going to get the tendon out of the way. You have your thigh bone and your shin bone, and there's kind of this smooth surface here on the end of the joint. That acts like a cushion in between the bones. When somebody does say they have bone-on-bone arthritis, they've essentially worn that cushion away. They've worn all the rubber off the tire, and it's metal against the road. So that can be a really painful thing that bothers people each and every day with all activities. So there are a lot of treatment strategies that range from conservative to, more the operative type things, but things like activity modification, weight loss, different types of injections, and if those things aren't working well for people, surgery in the form of a knee replacement can be beneficial as well.
Oh, I think my mom is right there. She just had one knee done, and the doctor just said it's bone on bone, so we got to think about some other options. What types of injuries are you seeing most? I mean, you treat a variety of people. You take care of the Utah Grizzlies.
Yes, and so you're exactly right. I do see people from all age ranges. I am the head orthopedic surgeon for the Utah Grizzlies, and it's a wonderful opportunity to work with those high-level athletes. So I do see lots of sports injuries. Shoulder, hip, and knee are kind of the main things that I see. And the whole goal is to get people back to playing the sports that they love. And a lot of times this is something treated with something as simple as physical therapy and different types of medications. And other times it is something that needs to be fixed. You mentioned an ACL earlier. That's something that typically does need to be fixed to give somebody a knee they can trust so they can play their sport. I also do treat people, people of all ages and different activity levels. You have some people that are 65 and they're not doing a ton besides walking out and getting the mail. You also have people that are 65 playing golf 5 times a week. And so, our goal is to tailor a treatment strategy to each person and what their needs are.
Well, it is interesting when you talk to a patient that you don't have to suffer, that there are those options because you've brought these examples of some injuries or maybe arthritic situations. Mm-hmm. Tell us what it's like when you see a patient go through the process and have their life back.
Absolutely. I would say one of the most common things I hear is people saying, I just kept thinking the pain would get better on its own. And that is a very common thing to hear because the body is made, to do that. We twist our ankle, it hurts for a few weeks, and then it gets better. So most people say, this pain will improve, it's going to go away, I just need to be, I need to give this more time. However, when pain isn't improving, there's often something else that needs to be done. We have to intervene in some way. And whether that is, different types of therapies or changing the way that we move, injections or surgery, we can get people back to doing the things that they love. A very common thing I hear, especially with knee replacements, is why did I wait so long? They'll say, I've been living with knee pain for 3 years now and it's completely disrupted my life. I don't know why I waited. I have my life back.
Doctor, that's a really good point, though. Sometimes we try to power through or we put it off. We might be making it worse. When is the time where it's just gone a little too long and we should come in and start that process?
Absolutely. So I do think the body takes care of most things, as we were mentioning. When you're noticing that pain, after you've given something, a month or so to improve, if it's not improving, you start saying, well, maybe I do need to get this looked at. I would also say on the flip side, and that's for more pain that just kind of starts to come on. When somebody has an injury, I would say put your mind at ease and get it checked out. And that way, one, if you do have an injury that needs to be addressed, it can be treated appropriately. And on the flip side, if the injury is something that doesn't need any treatment and the body can heal it on its own, you have that peace of mind that it's going to improve.
Well, bottom line, talk to your doctor, get it checked out. But also, I'm fascinated with the technology that has gone on when it comes to different types of replacements or therapies. Talk a little bit about that.
I would say one of the big advances we have seen, and I'll just switch models here. One of the big advances that we have seen in knee replacement surgery is the adaptation of robots. And so we will use robots to help with the surgery. In the past, when we would do these surgeries, you have to use a saw to cut some bone if you do end up needing a knee replacement, and we would use our hands. Now, as good as we think we are, we're still human, and we can make small errors. Well, now we have the technology to use robots that can give us perfect knee replacements every time. I'd say it's especially beneficial when talking about what's called a partial knee replacement. So a total knee replacement is when somebody has worn out the entire knee. A partial knee replacement is when just a small portion is worn out. And that can be beneficial because it allows you to keep the parts of the knee that are functioning well. You keep all the ligaments, you keep the other parts that aren't worn out, and you get a more natural feeling knee, and people will say, I would never know I had my knee replaced.
And you don't know until they talk to someone like you, Dr. Greg Anderson. Make an appointment today, 801-568-3480.
Thank you so much.
Awesome, thank you.
Peace of mind, just hearing the options that are out there.
There's a lot of options, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you to Common Spirit for sponsoring that interview.